What up, Mac kids and maniacs? We got your favorite guests on tonight, but first, I had to rush and give you guys 8 picks for the membership. So if you're part of the membership, you do the gamble, go to the membership section, get today's daily bread. We got 8 straight bets for you. And today, OG Cuse is here, and we're going to talk about people that put blames on other people financially and expect them to take care of you, and you hold no responsibility, and you give them people nothing whatsoever, no reason to help you out, and they feel like you owe them something when you actually don't owe them anything. So what up, Cutes?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, it's a good topic. How you doing out there, fans? I hope everybody's been good. I wish everybody a happy new year. And I just want to try and lighten some younger people and people my age to older people, because it's funny, I always use the term that we are the direct descendants of the slaves that came to the Americas. So we came over here because of labor, and for whatever other reason they wanted to use us for as guinea pigs to experiment on us and whatnot. But we are the end result of what was brought over here, from our lineage. And so over the years, as time went by, we believed that we were going to get some type of reparation for for the labor, for all of the misery that incurred on us, when we didn't bring it on ourselves. It was inflicted on us, So our mentality today, we were affected by that. And we were affected by that. Some of us, you can't say you were affected by that in a positive way. It was all negative. I don't like to use totals, but that's a total. It was that experience, and this experience from years past that we are experiencing now is a direct result of that injustice that was inflicted on us. But what happens is that we don't want to let go of this mentality that we have gotten, some of us, not all of us. And we believe that someone's going to do us right. Someone's going to, justify the wrong that was done. But this is real life. And it's been a long time. And it's not coming. I don't think it's coming in my lifetime. And I don't think it's going to come in your lifetime either. So I'm saying we got to work for what we want. They're not going to say one day, oh, we did those people so wrong, let's give them something. They're not going to give us nothing but a prison cell. They're not going to give us nothing but the chokehold. They haven't changed any, reform for the way they treat us inside of the judicial system and the way the police treat us on the street. Everything is still the same. When it comes to dealing with the descendants of the slaves, they don't pass no positive laws for us. You hear gay laws getting passed. You hear anti-hate Asian laws getting passed. This stuff comes over a quick period of time, but nothing has gotten passed for the abuse that have occurred to the descendants of slaves. And I'm talking about people whose slave ship dropped their ancestors off in America. Now, some of the ships crashed at sea, and some people grabbed a plank and whatever they could, and they swam to an island. All right. They are entitled to, something too, but nothing's coming. So we got to let go of this welfare mentality that they're going to help us, that they're going to give us something. And then what this mentality does to the individual, it makes him not become ambitious. He loses ambition. She loses her ambition. And then we start imposing on our family members, people who work hard, people who are just like us. They're part of the same lineage that we were a part of, but somehow, some way, they overcame a lot of things. And one of the things they overcame was to become, not dependent on this dream that one day, something better is going to happen, but not by us working for it, but by someone giving it to us. No one's going to just give us something that they work hard for. And the people that did us wrong, they're not going to feel any guilt about doing us wrong. Every now and then you hear one or two of them saying something, but that's not the majority. The majority of them hate our guts. So they're not gonna, look in the bank. They're not gonna find money for us. They're not gonna give us land. They're not gonna do anything for us. So what I'm saying is get out of this mentality. And we got to start working. There are programs out there. We got to get jobs. We got to become self-sufficient. We got to stop putting this mentality to work on our family and on people that care about us. We don't want to work for what we got. We want someone to always give us something. And then addiction kicks in. Once addiction kicks in, then our thinking really goes awry. We think we're entitled to what another person has, a family member that worked, a mother that owned a home, a father who worked. Brothers who went away to jail, brothers who went to the street to drugs, brothers who went to gangbanging. Now they coming home. The other family members never got in trouble, never did anything. The sister stayed there, other family members stayed there, but we want everything. We want it all. Why? Because we feel we entitled to it. We didn't work for nothing, So I want us to get out of this mentality, I want us to grow and evolve. And the way to do it is to become self-sufficient. How do we become self-sufficient? I got the map to self-sufficiency. The first thing we have to do is look for the programs that are available that will make us become self-sufficient. And what I'm talking about is taking care of our basic needs. Every man and woman of age should be able to take care of their basic needs: food, water, and shelter. We should be able to provide those things for ourselves. But we can't do that if we don't have a job. We have to get a job. We all have to start someplace. You might not like the place that you have to start, but don't let that stop you from starting. You might have delusions of grandeur where you think that, you're this special person and you deserve more. Okay, if you deserve more, then you have to get that for yourself. If you value yourself, then you have to get the more for yourself. But don't put it on someone else's shoulders who's going to school, who's working. You have to be willing to make a sacrifice. Sometimes it means going to bed early. Sometimes it means giving up drinking. It means giving up smoking weed. You have to make a sacrifice of something that you like to do. That's why it's a sacrifice. It's something that you like, but you got to sacrifice it and give it up because it's not helping you. It's not helping you achieve your overall goal. But first, you have to define what goals you want. And so I'm going to put self-sufficiency. Every man and woman should want to be self-sufficient. I have stayed in motels on this course of self-sufficiency. I have stayed in sober living homes. I have slept on couches. I have slept in a car. I have slept in a park. On this road to self-sufficiency, the hardest thing for a man or woman to do on this earth is to learn to take care of his and her own basic needs. You remember the great singer Billie Holiday? She said, basically, God help the child who has his own. That's what she's talking about in that song. She was singing that song way back then. She says her mama may have, her daddy may have, but God help the child who has his own. How do you get your own? How do you carve out some of this pie for yourself without infringing on someone else because of your delusions of entitlement? No one don't owe you shit. And the people who do owe you something is never going to give you anything because they got battleships now. They got armies now. They got all of these things in place now. When they tell you no and that they ain't going to give you nothing, you can't get past those barricades. They got politicians now. No one's going to, vote in a law that's going to just give you some land. If you want some land and you want a house, then you got to work hard for that house. And you might not could stay in California. You got to go to these other areas where property is cheaper. And then you could get a house, probably working at McDonald's. If you live in New York, not New York, but if you live in Texas, you live in Alabama, you live in Mississippi, you live in Kansas, you could actually get a minimum wage job and be able to afford after a few years to get a home. But you're not going to do that here in California. You're not going to ever be able to do that here. So some of us have to go other places if that's your goal, to put a roof over your head. This is one
Yeah.
of the states. Yeah, go ahead, Kev.
Now, I was going to say, as this relates to me in my personal life, there's people that think I'm doing good and they call and they ask me for things. They ask me to look out for other people. And they get mad when I give them my spiel, my background, my story, just within the last couple of years. And how can you get mad at me because I was broke and needy and had no place to stay? And like you said, first I slept in a car, then I slept in motels, then I had to get up and move to Houston so my sister can feed me and house me until I was able to get back on my feet thanks to the Mackids and Maniacs. And that's really where this whole movement was created. Even though I was doing it before I went to Houston, I couldn't pay no rent. I couldn't even pay for a motel. And so while I was in Houston, that's when I was able to come up with clothing and these lives and really be able to generate a little income. And when Nipsey died, as you know, Cutes, I came back for Nipsey, and I've been able to maintain by having this girlfriend I was staying with, Monica. She really helped me out, gave me a place to stay. And now I'm able to live on my own in my own apartment and feed myself. And a lot of people that follow kevmacvideos actually contribute to my well-being, and it allows me now to be able to comfortably go to LA and get interviews here and there, but not to the point where I could just go to LA every other day and jump on a plane every other day. So that's why there's not more content as far as actual face-to-face videos. But to sum it up, Cutes, I understand their pain, but I don't understand where they focus their pain because I'm the same guy who done interviews for TV. I've done interviews for street TV. I've done interviews for the guys in New York. I done interviews for people, cable TV, Skip Townsend, local cable TV in LA with Barefoot Pookie. I ain't never got no check. I ain't never got a dollar, a dime, a penny, a nickel. I never got nothing. So the same people that think I owe them something, even for the viewers that think I owe people who've been interviewed something, I ain't never got nothing for all the interviews I gave. And I've traveled to do those interviews with my own money. So I understand both sides of it. And the bottom line is you're not getting paid for no low level YouTube ass interview. So don't get mad at me if I can't help you, your family, or your friend, particularly your friend, because I don't know your friend. For all I know, you want the money for a drug habit. And you're getting mad at me if I tell you I don't have it. If you see me with it, then I can't tell you I don't have it. Which if you're not around me, you definitely ain't gonna see nothing. So you got to catch me at the right time is the bottom line.
I
But
don't
but
mind.
but
I understand. Yeah.
But like we said,
I
like
under,
we talked about on the phone, when me and you was on the
mhm.
phone, people have to
Yeah,
take responsibility for their own actions, and people need to offer a service. You have to offer something in order to get something in return.
I agree. I agree with that. It's just this mentality. I remember when I never sold drugs at a high level. I sold drugs at a pocket level. So back in the day when I did sell drugs, I remember that I would get people high sometimes because I wanted to. I mean, they were my friends, and I would get them. But then sometime I would like get low, or I would be falling on hard times, and then I wouldn't get somebody high. And then I realized that I'm only as good to them as the last time I got them high. It's like, hey, so and so's over there bad mouthing you, Cutes. And I said, oh yeah, what'd he say? He said, man, you got the second. You didn't want to get him high. And I said, oh, yeah, I get the motherfucker high all the time. So you as good as the last time you got somebody high. That's that last time I got you high mentality. And people walk that into other areas of their life. You know, they ask the family member for a favor, and the family member say, no, I can't do it. Now they don't like the family member no more. As soon as you tell someone no, they don't know how to accept no. You know, where does that come from, not being able to accept no? I've been told no all my life. Can I go home now? No. Can I have a car? No. You know, can I get this job? No. You know, so I'm used to no. How come I can't roll with no, accept it without bad mouthing the person that told me no? Why? Because I feel entitled. If I'm feeling entitled to something, my mind is not allowing me to see that the things that I want is not that other person's responsibility. The things that I want and I need is my responsibility. Now, how do I become self-sufficient so I can take care of my basic needs? The first thing I need to do is stop getting high. I need to be able to pass a UA test, because getting a job is not a problem. Keeping a job is going to be the problem. I need to learn to get along with others. I need to learn to follow instructions. I need to be able to get to work on time. And when I'm at work, I need to be sufficient at my job. I need to, put the work in, for the 8 hours, 4 hours, whatever time I'm there. And my attitude, I need to work on a good attitude. I'm around other people, and I don't need to always win, and I need to stay away from bickering.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah. So, we need to mature. We need to mature as a people and grow up. What has retarded us so far? These are the things that retard us. Being the direct descendants of the slaves that were brought over here, the things that happened to them, it slowed us up. We didn't evolve like everybody else, because we was put in this little pickle barrel. We wasn't taught the things that they were taught. We didn't feel the way that they felt about America and about land and about country, about state, because we were brought here basically as an animal, to work, to feel and plow and whatever else demeaning jobs they wanted us to do. Okay, they washed their hands with us. We fought, our laws were changed. They didn't need us no more. So what did they do to the descendants of those slaves? What did they do to them people? They built prisons, slave labor. In Louisiana, you build roads. They said, where are we going to take all of these people? What are we going to do with them? They're having babies. We're not going to give them anything. We better build more prisons. Sociologists already told them, if you don't have programs for them, you don't give them jobs, they're going to turn to crime. They're going to survive, but it's going to be in a criminal way. They already knew that. We sell drugs. Why? Because all of our communities have been deindustrialized. We had to do something. We're not just going to walk around starving. We're not just going to give up and be hopeless people, So here we are. Here we are today in the state that we're in today, and we becoming a burden to the people who loved us. And it ain't that many who love us. So we got to learn to become self-sufficient. We got to work. We got to quit listening to these guys who talk. You got to quit listening to these
Because
dudes
that's
who get
all
on
they
these
do is
shows.
talk. They talk and they spread propaganda and they have their own motives.
Yeah, you got to quit listening to them, because they keeping you stuck in this debilitative mindset where you're not growing, because they playing on your psyche. They making you think the way that you thinking is right, but the way that you thinking is wrong, and you're not going to evolve. You're
No,
gonna continue doing the same thing you're doing, and you're not gonna evolve, and you're just gonna get old, and you're gonna be broke. You ain't gonna have anything, and then you're gonna be like begging people for shit all the time.
hey, that's real talk, man. That's real, cutes. That's real.
Yeah, man.
We had a few comments I want to
Oh,
hit,
go
but
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
as far as OG Ghost, man, I probably could only give a couple more stories, but they're not really great stories. So I don't plan on doing no more ghost stories. I do plan to try to get him on the phone so you can hear from him himself, and whatever testimony or stories he have, you can get them straight from the horse's mouth. Um, there is one story I plan on doing tomorrow after I get a haircut. I'm not going to ruin it. I'll let you guys see it tomorrow. I actually wanted to interview this guy over the phone, and he agreed to an interview, but apparently he's in the shoe or the hole. I haven't heard back from him no more. Picaro Street, what's up? Stan, what up, homie? They say Cutes is always spitting game, man.
Try to keep it positive, man. Try to stay out the skits. Try to keep it positive. Try to uplift my people. And when I say uplift my people, I'm talking about black, whites, and Mexicans. You know, people who came up hard, who came up in poverty, who faces the same obstacles that we all face. You know, at the hand of what? A power greater than ourselves.
You know, Crypto Walk, I don't know who would win a head-up fight with Big U and Space Ghost. Both of them are my loved ones. Both of them are great fighters, and they're friends. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, as far as conscious saying that Grape Street's not spamming your chat, that's a good guy. Shame to be blocked. Spam is anything that you keep repeating. He already put his message out there. You don't need to keep putting the message out over and over and over. And it seems more appropriate to have that message over to where the persons he's talking about. So it's not appropriate to be over here. I don't go to nobody else's channel and tell nobody on their channel, hey, send Cute something, send Donald Archie something. So nobody should come on this channel asking to send somebody else something. Just keep it respectful, and that's what pretty much what I call cultural awareness. It's where you learn to understand each other's culture, each other's get out, and you learn to respect it. You learn to respect each other's rules, where they come from, and how they get out. You know, you could be like Q's just said, black, white, Mexican, whatever, yellow, red, whatever, right? It's the same thing. It don't matter where you're from or who you are. It's about respect. Give the same respect that I give. Follow some of the same rules that I give. And that person was not blocked. That person was timed out. So if that person has something else to say, he has 5 minutes to respond. And Q just said, there's people that will have you thinking that you think wrong. I'm sorry if you guys think I think wrong, but I run this channel, and it's not a whole lot of running to do, but it took a whole lot of work to get to where I'm at right now. I run this channel the way I want to run this channel. You guys don't run this channel. So again, if you want to keep it respectful and share ideas and share my commonality, then you go over to the channel where everybody know the person you're trying to raise money for, and the channel that you're putting on blast over here. You go over there and you do that. Because I don't see you over there saying, send Cutes from kevmacvideos no money over. I don't see y'all doing that, so don't do it over here. You're not going to come over here and make your own rules. I don't give a fuck who you are. It just don't go like that over here. But go ahead, Cutes. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, it's good to respond to people's questions because this is an interaction. This is not linear. It's transactional. We go back and forth. You know, we're not on no one-way stream. We listen to what the people have to say, and we respond to what the people have to say. So that's cool. We got a good live channel. The bottom line is that in this journey of becoming self-sufficient, you're gonna hit some obstacles, and you're gonna want it fast and easy. That's the number one area in a human being's thinking, especially if you come from a criminal past. If you come from a criminal past and you like to get high, your high comes on you just like that. So the real world doesn't work like your high. The real world is in increments, and it's slow. You're not going to get what you want right away like you get what you want from that joint or from that pill or from that needle. It's not going to work like that. So you setting yourself up for failure already. if you're doing these things, because you have to have some patience. You have to put in the time. If you don't know how to put in the time, then you're going to want it fast and easy, and you're going to take a penitentiary risk, and you're going to give up what you should have valued most, and that's your freedom. See, a person, Rabbi Polak told me, he says, you know what a person's value are when you see him in this place right here. I said, what do you mean by that, Rabbi? He says, well, none of you men valued your freedom more than what you did. That's how hard the rabbi was. Now, I could
Right.
say anything outside of that, but it wouldn't be true, because what you value is going to be the end result of your behavior. So if I valued my freedom, then my behavior is going to have a deterrent. Anything that's going to separate me from freedom, I would use as a deterrent. I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't value my freedom, there's no deterrent. So I didn't jeopardize my freedom. Now, here I am doing 32 years. Here I am doing life without. Here I am on death row. Why? Because I valued something else more than my freedom.
Hey,
So if you
Q.
value, yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you off. Sorry to
That's
interrupt. My
okay.
sister said, keep spitting that knowledge, Q's.
Hey, thank you, young lady. I appreciate your compliment. But here we are. Some kind of way we made it back to the same theater. Here we are back in society. We still have loved ones that are trapped behind that wall. For God knows how long they're going to be there. We already see how injustice, the system is. We don't have to repaint that. We can see that clearly. We see how unjust Hollywood is, how unjust the music industry is. And so, okay, we see these things. They're there. They're right there for us to see. We got to quit doing ourselves wrong. We got to see that within ourselves. We got to see the things that we are doing that's not working for our betterment. We got
It's
to see
called,
the things that we are doing that's contributing to our self-demise.
it's called looking in the mirror and self accountability.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
So I don't
now,
get mad at someone who tells me no. If I ask them a favor, they tell me no, okay. I'm not going to call them names. I'm not going to call someone else up and tell them that this person's a bad person. And then, if someone calls me up and tells me someone's a bad person, it's my time to make them grow. I'm going to give them some tough love. I'm going to say, no, they're not a bad person. They just got tired of giving to you because what did you do with the stuff that they gave you last time? How come it didn't help you towards your road of self-sufficiency? You can't just keep going back. I'm in the giving hand ups. I'm not in the giving hand outs. So if I can help you with something, then it's to lift you up. It's
yeah,
not charity.
right, 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 right,
It
right,
ain't
right,
gonna
right,
be charity.
right.
I'm trying to make a
And Q,
self-sufficient woman, and I'm trying to make a self-sufficient man. I'm not trying to make a dependent on a handout, from the government. I mean, there are mothers out there who need food stamps because they have children, and everybody who participated in that didn't step up. So that's okay. Don't feel ashamed of none of that. If you're a mother out there and you got to get food stamps, then you go get your food stamps. And you don't put your head down. You hold your head up high. Because why? Because you feeding and you taking care of your family. Now, if you someone out there and you getting these things and you selling them and you doing whatever you need to do to make ends meet, then you need to look in the mirror. You need to look at yourself. You need to say, why am I doing this? Ain't I worth more than this? Can I go get trade? Can I go get a job? Can I become somebody? Can I have a title? Yeah, you can and you deserve it. But it takes time. Everything takes time. It's not like a drug. It's not going to come overnight. And all I'm telling you, do not take the penitentiary risk because you're going to wind up inside of the system. And when you get in the system, you're going to be like, man, why didn't I value my freedom? Why didn't I just wait a little longer? Why didn't I go to this trade school? Why didn't I complete something? You got to learn how to complete something.
all right, let me jump in real quick. I did not see the Lowell Street interview, but it did pop up on my feed. I haven't checked it out. Number one, I believe, asked about the ghost video, and that guy was quiet, man. That same guy that was woofing and dissing, he was quiet. He was real quiet. And I left a part out. Somebody in the comment section reminded me that because when I told Ghost that he dissed the hood, I left a part out. When I told him where I was from and walked off, he started dissing my hood. At no point did he ever tell me what hood he was from. So I can't tell you what hood he was from. I can only speculate. By him talking about Fudgetown and Great, you got to figure he probably was a Watts blood. Probably Bounty Hunter, maybe Circle City or Bebop Watts or something. But when I told him where I was from, he dissed the hood. So I left that part out accidentally, but that's what it is. Dude was obviously a blood, and he did not want to see ghosts, and he did not speak. He played like he was deaf and shameful. But so cutes. Have you ever
Yeah.
met Space Ghost from 9-0?
I don't think so. I could have. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah,
Hey,
he didn't do a lot. He didn't do a lot of time.
put up my cash app, Kev. I think I froze.
Now it's been up there on and off throughout the live.
Hey, so this is what I want to talk about. Okay, so Space Ghost is from 9-0, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was he from the 9-0 on the western side, Cody's 9-0?
Yes. No,
Oh,
not originally. Not originally. They end up migrating west, but no, he was 9-0 Hoover.
oh, okay. Oh, back when Ani was alive and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I may have known him. He sounded like he was around my little brother's age.
I don't know how old Ghost is. Ghost, I'm not sure. No, Ghost was born like 1963.
Okay, because I ran with the Hoovers back then, so I'm pretty well. I used to be over there. I know that I would hang out with Moo and them over there. Oh, Mad Dog Erskine's is Moo's big brother.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that Mad Dog Erskine's Moo's big brother. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. It's his big brother. And Buddha used to always be over there. He used to always be over the house. He would just
Mhm.
stay over there. When he would come on his passes, he would stay over there. When Took would come on his passes, he would either stay at our house or he would stay over at Bonnie's house or he would stay over Big AC's house or he would stay over at Melvin Hardy's house.
Hey, you knew Maurice Moe real good.
Oh yeah, Maurice was my best friend. Maurice and Pretty Boy, they're the same age. So Maurice, Pretty Boy, Rusty, they were all going to Horseman at the same time. Yeah, I met Maurice when I was AWOL from Camp Gonzales, and I came home because Chucky Madison had got shot, and I was on the back street on 70th, and Maurice was ditching, and when you ditch school, you know you take to the back streets because you don't want the police truant officers to arrest you and take you back up to the school, or worse, take you to the substation. So Mo was running down the street and he was running from the cops and he ran up in the back in this backyard and I seen him go back there. So I ran back there because I was out on AWOL and I said, "Hey bro, what you running from?" And he said, I'm running from the security guards. I said, "Oh, come on, let's hit some gates." So we hit a few gates and we went into the Crip Shack and then we got to talking and he told me his name, told me he hangs out in the 9-0 down there with Curtis and them. And then I told him my name and everything. And he said, "Oh, I know your brother Rusty and this and that." And I said, "Oh, that's cool, man." He says, "I'm going to hang out with you until school lets out." And so me and Mo, from that day on, we were friends, from that day on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a good brother, man. He died so young, man. He was only 15 years old. The saddest thing is that my buddy from 9-0 named Bones, and Bones was original 9-0 from Cody's gang, And when I say Cody's gang, I'm referring to 90 next to the ETG, 90 between Western and Van Ness. That's the 90 I'm talking about. And between 90 and Century, because that's how far it was. It wasn't really a big area that Cody had, but it did cross and go maybe to Normandy, going back east. But we used to be over there, and so the homie would be over there. Mo would be with Bones, and so Bones, he was the kind of dude that worked. We all end up going to YA. You know, we Joe Ransom, Bones, Mo, Michael Steele from UG. We all hung together in YTS, you know, and we were in there with Matt Thomas and all them brothers from down there. But we all knew each other, you know, prior to being there, you know.
Hey, I
But
got one for you, Cutes, that you obviously forgot about a while back. A while back, you had mentioned to me you wanted to clear up that Mumpy didn't have nothing to do with your little
oh
brother's death.
yeah. Someone had made a comment that Mumpy had something to do with my little brother getting killed. No 60s killed my little brother. My little brother didn't get killed over no 60s at all. Me and Mumpy are best friends. We did all of our time together in level 4, and I was older than Mumpy back then, so I looked out for Mumpy, and I wouldn't let nothing happen to Mumpy. So me, Odie, Mumpy, we would all be in the big Odie from that started the first chapter of the neighborhood, who created all of that. He was in there with us, so you know we looked out for Mumpy. Mumpy didn't have nothing to worry about concerning that. I knew everything on that, you know. So anyone who doesn't know what the fuck they talking about in these streets, and you try to weigh in on something, then all you doing is propaganda and shit. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. I could sleep in Mumpy with a loaded gun in the room or a knife or whatnot. That's the level of respect and trust me and the Mumpster got for each other. So Mumpy and them earlier that night, Mumpy and my brother and them did have a fight up at the skating ring. Because that's how the little kids would roll. They were hard little motherfuckers. They would squabble with each other when they see each other and stuff, but it would never go past that. You know, it would never go past that. Something else had happened. My brother got involved with something else, and one thing led to another, and then that's what happened to my little brother. You know, it's nobody's business. You know, but Mumpy, the 60s ain't had nothing to do with my brother. I grew up in the neighborhood, so you know, ain't nobody from the neighborhood gonna harm anybody in my family.
Was you locked up when he passed?
No, I was out.
Oh, he was
I got locked up soon after.
right after, yeah.
Soon after, yeah.
I know it was the same year.
Yeah,
79 was a bad year for that little area right there, plus Raymond
yeah,
Martin.
yeah. That was a bad. It was just, you know, everything. A lot of it was, you know, if you want to say that you know, hell was breaking loose. Hell was breaking loose.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, yeah, hell was breaking loose.
Okay, so my man Complex Blackness wants to know if you can describe Jaziri burpees.
Okay, yes, I can. All right, so look, if you really want to work the bottom half of your torso, and you want to get that like lean, I call it the Sinbad look. You ever look at the most Sinbad cartoons? Remember when Sinbad would tighten up his belt buckle and he had that mean V? If you want to get that going, then you do those Dashiris. And what you do is you get down in a push-up position, but you lock your arms all the way out from the top, from the elbow. And you take your knees, you take your feet, you stretch them all the way out, and you kick your knees up towards your chest. Then you kick back down to the stretch, back up to your chest, and you just do them. You just go at it, and you do many as you can do until you can't do no more. I know dudes who could do 100 plus, and you just do those. You know, you don't got to do one push-up, and you just, because you work in the bottom part of your torso, and it's a great exercise. And I'm gonna tell you something that's equivalent to it. You get up on a parallel bar. No, you get up on a pull-up bar, not a parallel bar. Parallel bars are dip bars. You get up on a pull-up bar, a straight pull-up bar, you grab it from shoulder length and you hang and you take the bottom part of your knee and you bring it up towards your chest and just keep coming up, down, up, and try not to swing. Just come up straight down with your knees all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, and burn out about 50 or 40 of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Q still got it. And Q,
Yeah.
does the name come from the BGF or Swahili?
My name?
No.
Yes, probably so. Well, it's Swahili, so yes, probably because we didn't have that structure to use that language. You know, we spoke English.
Yeah, I had heard. I forgot who told me, but I had heard it came. The BGF created that.
But some of those exercises that you see the CCO doing in the Blue Notes that were doing those exercises, those exercises, they came from most of those guys.
Have you ever ran across Ray Boyce?
Yeah, me and Ray. I got a story of me and Ray Boyce. Ray Boyce was in LP when I was in LP, and he told me to watch out, and he knocked this dude out, and his head hit the concrete so hard I thought he killed him. And then all the staff ran over there and grabbed Ray and took him to the box, which is the hole where Big Red the Rooster used to be back there, because they had chickens in LP. And so about 3 weeks went by, and I was catching the chain to get on the Gray Goose to go to camp. And so they had Ray scheduled to go to Camp Rocky. I was scheduled to go to Camp Rocky. So the bus pulls up in the back, and we go and open the door, and Ray and them get on the bus. So Ray and them get on the bus. Ray sees me and nods. I nod back at him. So we getting all these dudes out of the box who were in there for fighting. So we all on the bus. So when the bus pulls up out of there, Ray, I notice he keeps going up under a seat on the bus, and he's going fuck. So he tell these other dudes, they ain't Bloods, they just rival member of Crip gangs. He tell these other dudes, who was in back on the other seats, he told them to look. So they were looking for whatever it was that Ray was looking for. So they couldn't find it, and they told Ray nothing. And then Ray was like, fuck, man. And then he said, hey, Cutes. He said, hey, man, look up under your seat. I looked up under my seat and I felt it. I said, oh, fuck. And then Ray said, give it to me. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get this motherfucker this shit. He might kill me. So Ray said, Ray, look me in my eyes. And I looked him in his eyes, and Ray said, hey, Cutes, he said, give it to me, man. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And you can come with us. So I just gave it to Ray. Bam. Man, Ray stuck the thing in the back door, kicked it one time. The back door flew open, and it's in the newspaper and everything. Right there in back of East Lake Juvenile Hall, all of those kids jumped off that bus and was free for weeks. And that's when Ray went to YA. When they caught up to Ray, that's when all those kids went straight to YA. I ended up AWOLing anyway, so I should have left with them. But I didn't. I should have left with them because when they got off the bus, it was only like 3 guys left on the bus. And the bus driver didn't know that the bus was emptied out because everything's caged in. So he didn't know that he lost all of his passengers. They didn't know because they didn't have no guard that ride in the back. It was only the driver. One driver would take us to camp. That's how security was.
They said, not Cute's jumping off the bus. Hey, what's your max on the weight pile?
When I was younger, I could hit probably 315. Little Bam used to always beat me, though. Little Bam from A-Trey, we used to always have bench press contests. I could beat Little Bam doing the arms, but he could bench me. So that was one of the down. I got a story about me and Little Bam. So me and Little Bam had sallied up, and he had a fresh L, and he didn't come to jail with an L. He came to jail with like traffic tickets or something. Then he ended up catching a case, in the county jail, and the little case that he had turned into a life sentence because that's how crazy and down he was. So one day these dudes were fucking with me, and he got mad, and he said, "Hey man, let's throw these motherfuckers over the tier, cutes." I said, "All right, we're gonna throw their ass over the tier." We lived on the 5th tier. And back then, Fosam's 5th tier, it just had rail, and the rail was no more than waist high. So if you threw somebody over the tier, it's like falling down 5 stories to concrete. So we're gonna throw these 2 motherfuckers over the tier. So I ended up kicking one of the dudes in the mouth outside on the yard. So, but the cops didn't see it. So we came back in. So the cops stopped me at the gate. Little Bam, he was in front of me on the line, so he made it up. I never made it up there in time for us to throw the motherfucker over the tiers. But we had put in our mind that we was going to throw somebody over the tier, and we were serious about that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that used to happen a lot back when I was young. And I see why they put all them bars and gates up on different tiers, especially.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like that when we were there. Then there was no screen, no bars. It was just that little bitty ass little rail.
Man,
and yeah.
Anytime you walk out your cell, you can get thrown over to your death.
Man, you had people who were deadlifting 500, 600, 700 pounds. You had dudes that were squatting shit almost a G. He could throw you over the tier and slang you over to the catwalk.
Hey, did anybody, when you was in there, you ever witness anybody hang themselves from the upper tier?
Yeah.
I
witnessed a lot of suicides. More suicides than it would ever be reported. More suicides. More suicides than there's so many suicides they can't even report the suicides.
That's crazy, man. But the reason why that came to mind because it would be so easy to hang yourself with the bar and you tears up under you.
Most of the people were hanging themselves inside of their cell.
Cute.
And outside they were jumping over the tier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, they would just jump.
They would just jump over?
Yeah, they would dive over like they diving into a pool.
Wow.
And it would always happen around Christmas time. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of hypothetical questions in the comment section that I don't too much want to deal with, especially the guys that's passed. So we're not even going to even do that because we'll never know the truth.
Right. And we're not a crime. And then we're not a crime. We're not a crime solving station, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we definitely not that. But no, they was talking about fighting, hypothetical fights. So
hypothetical fights are all right. I like to engage in hypotheticals because when you engage in hypotheticals, it's cool because you're not giving up. You're not giving up the reality of a situation. You're giving up your opinion, and you were there. So sometimes your opinion can be close to reality. I just won't say who won a fight if both of the brothers ain't here, and they had a good fight. And even if I had a good fight, me and Curtis is still alive. But with me and Michael Grandy's not alive. I'm not going to say who won the fight between he and I. And there's a lot of guys I fought. I won't say who won. But if you guys have hypotheticals, then that's cool. I thought someone was wanting to know who did this or who did that. Okay. I apologize. I apologize to the audience for making that assumption.
Okay, so one of the questions was, who wins a fight between Ray Boyce and Raymond Washington?
Okay, so both of these guys had similar structure, and it would have been a good damn fight. I put it like that because both of them had hands. Ray had hands. They were both there. Okay, there's a thing that happens to a young man when he comes into his puberty. His body starts releasing more testosterone. These dudes had high levels of testosterone and they were real strong. Ray Boyce had whooped already. He had whooped the dude who kicked the door off who kicked one of these doors down in Paso Robles. You know, a dude named Belgium. And this dude was strong. So Ray whipped him. The same dude, Belgium, this is the dude I tell you guys that knocked Ken Norton down at the 78th Street boxing gym. He dropped Ken Norton. Ken Norton got up, put hands on Ray. I mean, on Belgium. But Belgium had that kind of power. And the brother told me that witnessed the fight between Ray Boyce and Belgium, said that Belgium was no match for Ray. You know, so in the way Ray hit that dude when he told me to move out of the way, the only other dude I seen hit someone that hard was Tookie or Mouse. Literally the person's knocked out before they hit the ground. So when they
Oh
hit
yeah,
the
I love
ground,
those. I love
yeah,
them
so
fights.
yeah, so when he hits the ground, his head bounces off the concrete like a basketball. You know, so you know, that would have been a hell of a fight, man. I think they respected each other too much to fight. Like people talk about Ray Boyce and Bulldog. Bulldog could fight too. That would have been a good ass fight. That would have been a good fight between him and him. There are some Bloods and there are some Crips that had chunkums. I'm gonna tell you who could fight. The brother from the Van Ness boys named Swig. He had a wooden leg from the knee down, and he could hit hard. And he was a good ass fighter. And he had Tookie's respect. Yeah, some brothers that could sling him, man. And AC, when AC was a youngster, AC could chunk him.
AC lost a lot of fights though, Cubes.
Yeah, but AC lost a lot of fights, I guess, when other people may have jumped in.
Yeah. AC had heart. AC had heart. Yeah. That's what I liked.
Yeah, AC would fight. AC wasn't no hook.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to jump him because he was so big. Maybe that's
anybody can lose a fight if you get jumped. I got jumped. You get jumped, you go get your ass kicked.
Yeah. Hey, I know you didn't know Bully from Compton, right?
No, I never got to meet Bully, man. I sure wish I would have got to meet him.
So Bully was a little older than Raymond and Tookie. And, you know, he's supposed to be all of that as far as fighting. So somebody wants to know, would you have took his fade? Would you have fought the Bully?
I would have fought anybody. I'm not scared to fight anybody. I tell you who would have gave Bully a good fight then. If he was a little older than those guys, I bet you the farmer Big Al would have gave him a good fight. Big Bill, I bet you Big Bill would have gave Bully a good fight.
Who gave you your toughest fight?
My toughest fight? Let me think. See, I think Chicken Head gave me a good fight. Chicken Head was Aliso Village Brim. He gave me a good fight. I fought a Pyru named Wolf. Wolf gave me a good fight. I fought another Pyru that used to hang out with Big Lug from the Pyrus. He rest in peace. He got killed in a robbery. He was real tall. Trying to think of his name. He gave me a good fight in LP. A Butler. I think his name was Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler gave me a good fight. And Jimmy Butler was taller than me too. 10 Speed from Hoover gave me the best fight I ever had. 10 Speed was a good fighter. So 10 Speed. And so when I say someone gave me a good fight, that means I could have got my ass kicked too.
Right. Well, we know you keep it real.
Yeah.
That's why I reminded you of the fight with Curtis Blow. When I had you and Curtis Blow on the phone, you know, y'all kind of had different stories, but when y'all talked together, it was like, well, you know, there was good fights. I got him, and then we got down again, and we got down again.
The other reason me and Curtis Blow had a fight is because Curtis Blow's brother, he was a high-ranking Van Ness boy. And I was walking down 2nd Avenue, and he didn't like me. And Curtis's brother was a little older than me, but I would fight him too. So this particular night, I'm walking, his brother alluded like he had a Roscoe, and he went inside of his pants that like he was going to draw it, and I just lit him up. Pow, 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 pow. I let loose on him like that. And he flew into the trash cans and knocked over all these trash cans, and he was trying to get the hell away from the bullets. So he hit a gate, and then Curtis got wind that had happened. So I know me and Curtis is going to fight now again. So then it was just a matter of days, and me and Curtis is out fighting in front of Van Ness Park. Because it took a while before Curtis wanted to be a Crip.
What up, Jerome Wallace? No, we're not talking about Curtis Blow the rapper, you guys. You got to expand and just understand the culture and the geographics. If he's talking about Brims and we talking about LA, it wouldn't be Curtis Blow. These are the breaks from New York.
Yeah, we named him Curtis Blow because he fixed up his Cadillac and he put a kit on it. He put wires on it. He made it look like that car in Superfly. Remember that car Superfly had? That's how Curtis made his Cadillac. And Curtis would wear maxi coats. But this was the style, you guys. He had fur around the collar. We were falling up out of our khakis and motherfuckers was getting draped like this, And we were being influenced by Fillmore Slim too. Out of San Francisco. He had came down. He was dating Moncrief's sister. So we went on him. We went in on him. Took some things, we were rapping that attire, and
Did you ever
that's
have
how
any fight? Did you ever have any solo fights with Chain Gang or Inglewood Family?
Yeah.
What was your best one?
Shit. Let me think. I remember one time I was coming back from the Academy show and met up there on Fifth Avenue, and I had a fight over there with a brother. I think his name was Tank. He was bigger than me too. His name was Tank. I think that was his name, Tank. He was older than me. He was older than me, and he was bigger than me.
Yeah, I heard of Tank. I want to say he lived by like 71st and Florence.
So Tank gets the best of me. Tank got the best. Tank got the best of me. But then it's funny how shit goes, because then I meet this kid named Hoover. Hoover, and he's not a Hoover Crip. His last name is Hoover. So Hoover ended up fighting Tank and his brother, and he put it down on both of them. But Hoover knew karate too, So me and Hoover became friends like that,
Hoover's another guy that's older than Raymond and Tookie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hoover's older, huh?
I'm trying to do the math in my head. If he's not older, he's the same age.
Yeah.
No, because Hoover's 70.
Wow. Yeah. So he's a little older.
Raymond and Tookie will be 69 this year.
Yeah. Who's a little older? Yeah. Hoover was a good dude, man. He's still a good dude. I haven't spoken to him in a long time though. Last time we were together, we were in Tracy.
Have you ever seen Donald Archie throw down?
Yeah, I saw Donald fight a lot of times.
Speaking of Tracy, what do you know about Big Bertha?
Okay, Big Bertha. Only a few guys could hit Big Bertha. So let's talk about Big Lowdown. This brother named Big Lowdown. Me, Lowdown, and Heron. We were strolling to the trade yard, and Lowdown said, "Everybody stop." We were strolling 3D. He said, "Everybody stop." So I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna fuck somebody up," because the way he said it, he said, "Stop." So we all stopped walking, and he looked, and he just wiped his eyes like he was tapping his eyes. And I said, "What's going on with Lowdown or Heron?" He's paying homage to Big Bertha. I said, "Who the fuck is Big Bertha?" And he said, "See that over there? Ain't nobody fucking with it. And I said, damn. I said, don't nobody lift it but you? He says, yeah. He says, ain't nobody touched her. Look, she's still seated in the rack. And when nobody lift, could nobody hit it? He was the only one that could hit that shit.
Now, I know you answered this. Well, I want to come back to this, but while it's on my mind, you answered this on a live we did already, but I'm asking you again. Have you ever done time with Money Mike from 60s?
Yeah, Tracy.
Tracy
Had
Prison.
to, had to be Tracy. If he was on the Vanguard yard, it had to be Tracy. There was
Yeah.
only two. The Vanguards only had the yard in three places. First, it was Tracy. Then it was San Quentin, the fifth tier. Then it was Folsom. It was Folsom, the tier that they have them on in Folsom. I think it was the fourth tier, fourth or third tier in Old Folsom.
All right, let me take you back to Tracy. I just found this out, or I just heard this, so I want to ask you again about Big Bertha. Now, let me tell you before you start telling your story. I
Okay.
was told Big Bertha was like a gun or something they had in Tracy. Do you
the
remember
the
that?
gun they talking about that damn gun that shot them bean bags.
Right,
They had one
right.
that shot bean bags. But they used to shoot these little nickel things at you, and they were in these little funny little tube cylinder things, and they would hit you and they would spit out tear gas. That's all they had was tear gas. So they called the gun Bertha too. They called that gun Bertha, but that's Tracy. I'm talking about YTS.
Oh, okay. I was talking about Tracy. That's why I keep
Oh
saying
yeah,
Tracy.
Big Bertha. Yeah,
So,
Big Bertha in and Tracy was that fucking a sawed off looking shotgun thing that shot those big ass round canisters up out of it.
so were you still in Tracy when they start carrying the 38 and the rifles?
No, I
Okay.
was gone.
All
And
right.
then I went back for 2 weeks in 80, what was it, 84? And then I only lasted 2 weeks. But no, they wasn't carrying. I don't remember them carrying. Well, maybe they carried a 38 inside of the building gunner. Each
Mm-hmm.
building sometime would have a gunner in it sometime. But Tracy was a prison that wasn't designed to have guns inside of the corridor.
Right.
If you get shot up in a corner, that's why they call it gladiator school. It was survival of the fittest. You're gonna fight for maybe an hour or 30 minutes before the cops come. They go choke you out with the tear gas. The tear gas is what make people stop. You breathing enough of it, you ingest enough tear gas, your boogers are gonna be reaching the floor. Your snot boogers. Yeah. You been in that kind of shit? Yeah, that's how that go.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
You'll
been
be
I've been I've been hit with them pellets, but not the tear gas.
Yeah, they use
Man,
tear gas.
man, them
And
pellets hurt, boy. Them pellets burn. Them pellets do damage to you,
some
bro.
people are harmed by tear gas more than others.
Right.
And they say,
Yeah, that's
"Oh,
true.
put a wet rag on your face. Oh, put a damp rag on your." That just makes it burn more.
Make it worse.
They make
Yeah.
it worse. You
I've
just
been
gotta take it.
now I'm thinking of pepper spray. I'm thinking of pepper spray, but I'm
Yeah,
sure tear gas is similar.
yeah. It
Um,
just crawls up your lungs. You can try to hold your breath, and it's gonna whatever moisture's in your nasal passages or in your lungs, the tear gas molecules is gonna latch onto that, and it's just gonna walk down into your lungs.
mhm. Is there any strong guy that you ran across in the pen that could outlift everybody?
Yeah. Big Kurt.
What
Yeah,
was
Big
his
Kurt
name?
out of Oakland. And
Okay.
Cartwright. Big Cartwright out of Oakland.
Big Cartwright.
Big Cartwright. They might have been out of San Jose. I'll just say Oakland. They were from up north. And
Bay Area.
Big Bill out of LA when he was younger. Big Chuck out of IE. OG Chuck, older dude. Those were like the strong Big Capone from 118. Rest in peace. These are 500 plus dudes I'm naming on the
Mhm,
bench press
mhm.
without arching, straight flat back shit.
Hey, I got one last question, and then you can take however long you want to answer, and anything else you want to say. But then I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Um, the term OG. Okay, we know you like to say OG cutes, and pretty much that's what you're known by now throughout the social media. So my question to you, this is a serious question. Do you think the term OG has now been tarnished or is overrated, overly used? And how do you compare an OG of 1979 to somebody called OG in 2022?
Well, it's like this. I think that if you're an OG, that you have to carry yourself like an OG. You have to want to uplift, someone else. You have to give some insight to someone. You gotta be a service. If you OG, then it goes without saying. You historical. You back from the day of when things first originated. And any Hollywood entertainment, they can all use the term because our styles have always been copied, by Americans. They always get our shit and try to act like they created our shit. But a real OG comes from South Central Los Angeles. A real OG comes from the roots of those gangs, that it started back then. Most of the OGs rest in peace. There are only a few that are still alive. Now, anyone else who had a hard life and they represented their set and they consider themselves an OG, then they OG too. But they're not. They just got their OG, status a little later than the ones who were on ground zero. But they could be just as down and serve just as good as an OG, that put it down in my generation. So I can't take anything from them, but if you're an OG, you're not going to be out there instigating bullshit. You're not going to be trying to use your homeboys to do negative shit while you sit back, and not participate. You're not going to be, a person like that. You're not going to throw a rock and hide your hand. That's not being OG. It's being a manipulator.
Did you ever meet Rubber Legs from Denver Lane?
No, me and Big Chest Larry used to bench press at up at Bill Pearl.
That's not the Big Chest Larry from Swan.
Yeah, Big Chest Larry from guess Big Chest Larry was from Swan.
Right.
Yeah, Big Chest Larry was from Swan. Yeah.
Cutes is a real OG. I like how he talk. And I roll down the road and bang on shit. Stop playing. Man, I just feel like cutes. I feel like this is my rebuttal. I feel like back before I knew about OG cutes, back in the late 70s, early 80s, I feel like an OG was really an OG. Like he was really the guy we looked up to and modeled ourselves after. I feel like now in the 2000s, anybody can be an OG and they don't necessarily they aren't necessarily a stand-up guy. Um, and definitely a lot of them or some of them have punked the game and really give a black eye to the new wave of OGs. But the older guys, to me, was more solid and had the style, the charisma, and the love for each other. And I don't see it that way no more. I've even had phone calls from people offended by how Big U describes what an OG is. Somebody that's looking out for the kids, somebody that's doing something positive for his family and doing the right thing, not out there misleading people and having them gangbanging.
Yeah, I
And
think I think I think if an OG reached that age of maturity, then I mean he got kids himself. So why wouldn't you want what you got for the kids in your own lineage is for the ones who are out in the street, someone else's kids. Why would you want to? Why would you want to lead them down, a dark path that you already been down? Why would you want their families to suffer the same way your family suffered when you were gone, and the losses that were incurred by your hand at your victims? Why would you want that repeated? If you're an OG, then you should have a clear insight of what's right and what's wrong. Well, what am I going to continue to do and what am I not going to continue to do?
Hey, seeing that I'm a lot younger than you, I started going to the county jail way after you had made it to prison. Let me ask you this question, if you can answer it.
Uh,
I remember, bro, in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, we used to call people triple OG and double OG kind of as a joke. Now, people really take those titles seriously. How did you guys, when you first remember hearing the term double OG and triple OG, how did you guys take that?
we just figured that it was just people talking because we knew in the joint who the OGs were. They didn't play around with us like that. That was like, that communication was away from us. Because when you came around us, it was like, you better have a reason to be around us.
Right.
You're not just going to come around us and ear hustle our conversation. You're not going to come around us to say something stupid. You're not, because that's how you get fucked up. If you think you can come around us and give us something to get us high or say this and then try to use us to do something, then we're going to have a meeting on you and it's not going to be good. So it was like people didn't want to go around us. They'd be like, man, them dudes grew up together from the street. Stay the fuck away from them dudes. Them dudes know each other. It was like that, like it was our clique. It was us.
I think if you're from another state, I think it's a little different. So I don't knock nobody from another state that uses that title because their
No.
ranking and their generations are different from California. So
Yeah.
I,
Every set that starts, the founding members of the set are OGs.
right.
If I was 15 today and I went to Platoon and I said, okay, I'm gonna start a gang called the Mad Hats. And then, okay, so I'm a G of the Mad Hats. If it survives a few summers. Now, if it
Yeah.
just kicks in and it kicks out, then ain't nothing to be said, But if it
Right.
lasts,
I call that
then
a fad.
yeah, if it lasts, and I stay true to the game, meaning I don't snitch, I don't drop out, I get beat down, I still represent it, then okay, I'm an OG now. Yeah, this motherfucker, he didn't. The whole car pulled up, they asked him what city he was from, and he told them. They all bailed out and start crowbarring him.
Hey, did you know Big Chest Larry when he was a Crip?
No, I don't think I knew any of the Swans when they were Crips because that was on the east side.
Okay. How about let me see, what was we just talking about, Cutes?
We were talking about OGs and people just pulling up.
Man, I always forget my train of thought, man. I
Yeah,
lost my thought. It
yeah,
was something about I don't know.
yeah.
Forget it. I'll
Well,
think about it
yeah,
later.
it's all good.
Did you guys ever say gangster original before original gangster?
Original gangster. I don't think so.
Oh
First
man.
time I started hearing gangster was from the brothers out of A Trey. They used to say that, so they started saying that. Everybody would say OG or UG. I remember a lot of that was going around UG.
OGUG. Hey
Yeah.
Kev, can you ask him if he knows Zeddy or ZD Morgan? Or how
ZD
about
Morgan.
Bull from Grape Street?
I knew Mad Bull, the original Mad Bull that would be with me and Took.
No, that's
His
better.
mama, his mama had a jukebox, and they would be sitting back there drinking gin and slamming dominoes. I knew the original Mad Bull stayed in Watts.
Hey Caleb, good looking out, man. Long time no see or speak to or text message. We need to reconnect on these projects, my brother, and see what's going on with them. But good looking out. I appreciate you. I'm glad you still tuned in to KM Video live streams. I'm sure
And
you
I
watch the
wanted to
KevMac videos as well.
I wanted to tell the people something about Hollywood. Don't ever think that don't ever think that, and this is for gang members too. Don't ever think that Hollywood is going to use your image in a positive way. Never make yourself believe that. If you're going to do positive with your gang image, it has to come from with you and your interaction with someone else. Other than that, you're going to be painted all bad for the rest of your life. So always remember that, man. They're going to paint you, as the worst of the worst. But don't believe it. Don't buy into it. You could do good and you can remain from your neighborhood. You ever see these people, these politicians, and they just leave? They say, "Oh, I'm leaving. I'm resigning." Okay, you didn't let the bad people win, and you resigning. Now we left to them. But you were speaking the truth, and you were trying to help people, but you leaving. So don't be a person like that. Stay a part of what you're a part of, and get in there and try to make it better. If things ain't going the way it should go, argue at the meetings and try to make things better for you, for the young people coming up around you. If you just abandon your set and you leave, then it's going to just get more, of the same. It's not going to get better. At least go back down and visit and go and talk to the youngsters and let them know, what's cool and what ain't cool. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm done with that. I'm washing my hands with that. They're killing each other too much. They're doing this too much." Okay, man, that may be true, but don't give up on them.
Q's, did you ever find your dog?
Okay, this is what happened, man. I never found Big Bear, but the owner, he calls me up, and Bear's brother was bigger than him, and he was mean, so he gave it to me. So I went over there and got it, and I got it now, and he kicks it with my big brown dog. So they be chilling together and shit. They get guard dogs. So I never got Bear back, but I got his brother, and he looks exactly like him. He's just not as smart as him, but he looks like him, but he ain't smart as him.
Hey, shout out to Miles Combs. Good looking out for the cash app. Cutes, how was Craig Craddock as a person?
Man, let me tell you, the night that I met Craig Craddock at the party, we were at a party, and it was me, Michael Christian, it was Buddha, Melvin Hardy, Mouse, Bogart. We were all there at this party, and we were fighting these brims. Remember, I told you how the brims were moving into different neighborhoods, but they had some brims like on 100 and something in Vermont, or 90 something in Vermont. Anyway, the party was over on that street, and we were going to fight him that night. And so he had came over that night inside of the Camaro, and he pulled up. And Mouse says, "Damn, they're going to Craig Craddock right there." So I got the gauge, and I walk up to the car, and I say, "What's up, Craig?" Like that. And he looks at me, and he says, "Who's this dude?" And then the homeboy Sweetback say, "That's one of Took's." Like, that's how they used to talk. They say, "That's one of Took's." Like that. He said, well, you can't call me by my whole name. And I says, "Man, quit tripping," like that. And so he stood up out of the car, he tall as fuck. And so I said to him again, I said, "Hey, man," I said, "Where Raymond?" Like that. And he said, "He should be coming over here," like that. He said, "Who's your brother?" And I said, "Mouse." he knew Miles. So he said, go get Miles. So I went in the house. I went and got Miles, and he came back out to the car. Craig told Miles to check me, and Miles said, I ain't checking him like that. I ain't checking him. Leave him alone. Like that. We said, your little brother's crazy, man. And then I put the gauge out, and Craig said, damn, the little motherfucker got a gun. And then that's when Michael Christian had said what we were going to do, what's going on, and then all them dudes had Roscoe's too. So then me and Craig, we became friends that night. From that night right there, and then he would come up to Crenshaw to see me, to look in on me, to make sure I'm doing all right there with my chapter, and he just started liking me a lot, and then that's how it was.
Hmm. There's a new interview out, Wrong Kind East podcast. Big Stretch addresses the lies, part two. Big Stretch is from Bounty Hunter, and he talks about a couple of guys that you guys are always asking me about. So indirectly, he can answer some questions that you guys have for me. Yeah, Cuse, man, I know you got to go on and handle your
Yeah.
business, so I'm not going to hold you. I need
All
to
right.
get
I
you.
think we had a good conversation, with our fans and with, our brothers and sisters out there. And, I think that we kept it positive, and we stayed focused. So best we could do.
Right, 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 right. We can always do it again. It's no
Mm.
hurry, no real rush.
Yeah.
You been all right health wise?
Yeah. Yeah. Health wise, I've been good. I haven't been sick with that COVID shit. So I've been, breathing good, feeling good. And so I feel blessed in that area.
somebody somebody asked a funny question, man. They said, "Have you ever thought about changing your name to something more intimidating for dating?"
No, because you can let the smooth taste fool you, and that has cost a lot of people maybe early demise or
Right.
getting them fucked up.
Yeah, man. One thing that's commendable is you don't come on here and brag about your past violent ways, man. But I tell people, man, that Cuse wasn't no joke. I don't want to go too far over the red line. Cuse wasn't no joke, and that's all you need to know. You don't need to know nothing else. You don't hear me talk about like that about a lot of other people. So just take my word for it, and leave it at that, man. Because me and Cuse share a commonality in that we don't really like to go deep into the violence involving ourselves, and not too much of others either. So I commend you for that, Cutes.
Yeah, man.
And
It's about focusing on growing, about focusing on positive change, and about just giving a person a way to think to where they don't make that wrong decision that's going to lead them into that, juvenile hall, at prison, at camp, locked up, not away from freedom, man. Nothing's more precious than your freedom.
who was Chuck? Somebody want to know if Chuck was from PPHGC.
Big Chuck, Big Chuck was a BGF.
Okay. All right, bro. Holla. I put up your cash app throughout the live,
I
and
appreciate it. Hands up are good. Hands up are good. You brothers take care, man. Stay positive. Keep your mask on if you choose to, and keep your family healthy and become more self-sufficient. Think about it and do things that's gonna lead you to it. Have a good day, brother Kev.
all right, you too, bro. Peace.
All right, bro.
For those that signed up for the membership, you, it's too late to go get your picks now. So hopefully you got your picks in already. If not, you still may have time for a couple of the picks, the 6 o'clock games and 5 o'clock games. Good luck, breadwinners. Peace, Mac Maniacs. Good looking out, OG Cutes.